Picture a young man with a guitar in his hands and a dream in his heart. That was John Denver at the start of his career. Born Henry John Deutschendorf Jr., Denver was a kid from Roswell, New Mexico, who had a passion for music that was as vast as the Rocky Mountain landscapes he would later immortalize in song. Music was in Denver's blood from a young age. His grandmother ignited his love for music with an old Gibson acoustic guitar, and with it, Denver discovered the power of song. However, the road to stardom was not an easy one. Like many artists, Denver faced his fair share of struggles, challenges, and rejections in the early years of his career. But he was not deterred. His passion for music and his unwavering belief in his talents kept him going. A breakthrough came when he joined the folk group, the Mitchell Trio. Denver's unique voice and songwriting skills quickly made him stand out. His solo career took off in the early 70s, bringing him international fame and recognition. His hits like Take Me Home, Country Roads, Annie's Song, and Rocky Mountain High were not just songs, they were anthems that resonated with millions around the world. Denver's music was more than just melody and lyrics, it was a reflection of his love for nature, his compassion for people, and his desire for peace. He was not just a musician, but an environmental activist, a humanitarian, and a poet. His music touched hearts, bridged cultures, and inspired change. Denver's rise to fame was meteoric. He became one of the most popular and successful musicians of the 70s. His records sold in millions, and his concerts were sold out. He won numerous awards and accolades, including 2 Grammy Awards. Yet despite his fame and success, Denver remained grounded. His love for music, nature, and humanity never waned. From the humble beginnings to the height of fame, Denver's life was a true testament to his talent. His journey was not just about music, it was about perseverance, passion, and the power of dreams. As we venture further into his life, we'll uncover the trials and tribulations that would ultimately shape his legacy. Just as his music touched the hearts of millions, his sudden departure left them in a state of disbelief and sorrow. John Denver, a man who crafted melodies that transcended boundaries and warmed hearts, met with an abrupt and tragic end in a plane crash. His loss was not just to the world of music, but it was deeply personal for those who held him dear, his family, friends, and countless fans who found solace in his tunes. In the prime of his life, Denver was soaring high, much like the lyrics of his songs. His passion for flying was well known. However, fate had a cruel twist in store. One fateful day, his love for flying led to a catastrophe. Denver was piloting an experimental aircraft when it crashed into the Monterey Bay, California. The news of the incident spread like wildfire, leaving the public in shock and grief. The impact of Denver's sudden death was profound. His family was left grappling with the harsh reality of his absence, while his fans mourned the silencing of a voice that had been a beacon of hope and joy for many. The world had lost a gem, and the void his departure left seemed almost impossible to fill. His demise also sparked a wave of tribute and remembrance. Radio stations played his songs on loop, fans gathered for vigils, and social media was flooded with messages of condolence. The grief was palpable, the loss profound. People from all walks of life came together to mourn the passing of a man who had touched their lives in one way or another. The unexpectedness of his departure served as a stark reminder of life's unpredictability. It made people reflect on the transient nature of existence and the importance of cherishing every moment. Denver's life may have been cut short, but his legacy lives on in his music and the memories he left behind. Denver's untimely demise was a harsh reminder of life's unpredictability. Yet in the midst of the sorrow and shock, his spirit continues to resonate through his timeless melodies, reminding us all to appreciate the beauty of life while we can. In the aftermath of Denver's death, a storm was brewing, one that would shake the very foundations of his family. The echoes of John Denver's sweet melodies were still resonating in the hearts of millions when a discordant note struck. The harmony that once defined the Denver family began to fracture, and the beginning of a bitter family feud over Denver's estate was set in motion. John Denver, born Henry John Deutschendorf Jr., had been a beacon of unity, his music and his life knitting together bonds of love and mutual respect. Yet upon his untimely death, it seemed that the threads of unity began to unravel. The key players in this familial drama were none other than those closest to Denver: his ex-wife Annie Martell, their adopted children Zachary and Anna Kate, and his brother Ron Deutschendorf. Annie Martell, Denver's first wife and muse for his hit song Annie's Song, had always held a significant place in Denver's life. Even after their divorce, they maintained a cordial relationship for the sake of their children. However, when the details of Denver's estate were revealed, Annie found herself questioning the fairness of it all. Zachary and Anna Kate, Denver's adopted children, were the apple of their father's eye. Denver had always expressed his unconditional love for them, both in life and through his songs. But when his will was read, they were left grappling with the reality of their father's estate planning or lack thereof. Then there was Ron Deutschendorf, Denver's brother and confidant. Ron had always been there for Denver through the highs and lows of his career, and in the wake of Denver's death, he too found himself embroiled in the dispute over the estate. Each of these key players had their claims, their reasons, and their emotions tied to Denver's estate. It was not just about the monetary value associated with Denver's legacy. It was about the sentiments, the memories, and the deep connections they all had with Denver. The family feud over Denver's estate was not just a legal battle. It was a clash of emotions, a test of relationships. It was a storm that threatened to wipe out the memories of love and unity that Denver had nurtured throughout his life. The family that had once stood together, supporting each other in the face of Denver's sudden demise, now found themselves on opposite sides of a dispute that threatened to tear them apart. The beginning of the family feud over Denver's estate was like a dark cloud hovering over the legacy of a man who had spent his life spreading light. It was a stark reminder of the importance of estate planning, not just for the sake of financial security, but also for preserving harmony within the family. The family that once stood united in grief now found themselves divided by a bitter feud. A feud that served as a cautionary tale for us all, highlighting the importance of clear communication, thorough planning, and the necessity of preparing for the unexpected. As the dust settled, the battle for Denver's estate moved from the family home to the courtroom, a place where emotions were checked at the door and legal discourse took center stage. The family feud had escalated into a legal war, and Denver's legacy was caught in the crossfire. The main points of contention were the interpretation of Denver's will and the distribution of his assets. Denver's sudden departure left behind a will that was, at best, ambiguous. The lack of a clear and comprehensive estate plan created a vacuum that was quickly filled with disputes and disagreements among the family members. In one corner, Denver's ex-wife Annie argued that she was entitled to a portion of his fortune, citing their long-standing relationship and the years they had spent together. She pointed to the times when Denver's career was at its peak, and they were a team, both professionally and personally. In the opposing corner were Denver's children Zachary and Anna Kate. They contended that their father's wealth should be theirs, as he had earned it during his lifetime. They argued that their parents' divorce had severed any financial ties between Denver and Annie, and thus she had no legitimate claim to his estate. The legal arguments were complex and multifaceted, reflecting the intricate nature of Denver's life and career. Lawyers for both sides presented their cases with a vigor that was as intense as the family feud itself. They delved into the minutiae of estate law, dissecting Denver's will, and scrutinizing every aspect of his financial affairs. Denver's children, through their legal team, argued that their father's will, albeit somewhat ambiguous, clearly indicated his intention for them to inherit his wealth. They highlighted the fact that Denver had made provisions for them in his will, which they argued demonstrated his desire for them to be his primary beneficiaries. Annie's lawyers, on the other hand, maintained that as Denver's former wife and the mother of his children, Annie had a legitimate claim to a share of his estate. They argued that the divorce had not completely severed the financial ties between Denver and Annie, and that she had contributed significantly to his success. The courtroom became a battleground where Denver's legacy was dissected, debated, and ultimately divided. The family's once private disagreements were laid bare for all to see. Denver's life, his work, and his intentions were reduced to legal jargon and monetary figures. The legal battle was a stark reminder of the importance of clear and comprehensive estate planning. It highlighted the potential pitfalls and the emotional toll that can result from a lack of foresight and planning. In the courtroom, Denver's legacy was reduced to legal jargon and monetary figures. Yet, beyond the legal wrangling and the family feud, Denver's music continues to inspire and touch the hearts of millions around the world. And that, perhaps, is his true legacy. When the gavel finally fell, Denver's family was left to pick up the pieces of their shattered unity. The court's final decision was a bitter pill to swallow. The distribution of Denver's estate was a complex process, wrought with challenges and disagreements. The once harmonious family was now divided, with each member grappling with their own feelings of hurt, betrayal, and loss. The judge's ruling, instead of bringing closure, seemed to have opened fresh wounds. John Denver's estate, a testament to his illustrious career and personal achievements, had become the epicenter of a family feud that was anything but harmonious. His expansive property, the royalties from his hit songs, and his personal belongings were all part of the estate that was now divided amongst his family members. This wasn't just about money or property, it was about memories, about history, about a legacy that was now fractured. The impact on Denver's family was profound. Relationships that were once strong and loving were now strained. The trust had been eroded, and the unity was shattered. The family that once stood together was now fragmented, each member dealing with their own sense of loss and betrayal. The court's decision was final, but the ramifications of the feud were far-reaching, leaving a deep and lasting impact on the family dynamics. The fallout wasn't just emotional. The legal battle had drained the family financially. The legal fees, the court costs, the endless paperwork, it all added up, depleting a significant portion of the estate. This financial strain only added to the emotional turmoil, creating a cycle of stress and resentment that was hard to break. In the end, the feud over Denver's estate had cost the family more than just money. The loss was more profound, more personal. It wasn't just about the physical assets, it was about the loss of unity, the breakdown of relationships, the erosion of trust. The family that Denver had loved and cherished was now broken, a sad testament to the price of a poorly planned estate. The aftermath of the feud was a grim reminder of the importance of clear and comprehensive estate planning, a lesson that was learned the hard way. The saga of Denver's estate is more than just a tale of family discord, it is a cautionary tale for all of us. John Denver's story is one that resonates with many, a life lived in the limelight, a sudden unexpected departure, and the aftermath of an estate left in disarray. The infamous family feud that ensued following Denver's death was nothing short of a tragic spectacle. And at the heart of this feud was a common issue that many families face, the lack of proper estate planning. John Denver, like many of us, perhaps never anticipated his untimely demise. He had not put in place a comprehensive estate plan, leaving his family in a quagmire of legal battles and strained relationships. This lack of foresight contributed significantly to the feud, as there were no clear directives on the division of his estate. So, what lessons can we glean from Denver's story? First and foremost, the importance of estate planning cannot be overstated. It is not a task reserved for the elderly or the ill, but a crucial step that every individual, regardless of age or health status, should consider. It ensures that your assets are distributed according to your wishes, preventing potential disputes among heirs. Secondly, communication is key. It's essential to discuss your estate plans with your family to ensure everyone is on the same page. This not only prevents misunderstandings but also helps to maintain harmony among family members after you're gone. Lastly, it's important to regularly update your estate plan. Life is unpredictable and circumstances can change rapidly. Regular updates ensure that your estate plan reflects your current wishes and circumstances, mitigating potential issues down the line. Denver's story serves as a stark reminder of the importance of planning for the future. It underscores the need for careful estate planning, open communication with our loved ones, and regular updates to our plans. Let's learn from Denver's story and take proactive steps today to secure a peaceful tomorrow for our loved ones. In the face of life's uncertainties, we all have a responsibility to protect our loved ones. The story of John Denver exemplifies the importance of proper estate planning. It's a task we often overlook, but it holds the key to avoiding disputes and confusion when we're no longer around to guide our family. There are countless resources to help you navigate this process. Legal professionals, financial advisors, or even online estate planning tools can ensure your wishes are clearly communicated. It's not just about assigning your belongings, it's about ensuring your loved ones are cared for, your values are honored, and your legacy is preserved. So, let's learn from Denver's story. Let's take the necessary steps today to safeguard our families tomorrow. Make the call, schedule the appointment, start the conversation. Remember, it's not just about wealth, it's about leaving a legacy of unity and love. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more celebrity family feuds.